Cooking rice is not that complicated. Today I'm going to show you two ways of making rice, and in both the ways you will get perfect fluffy rice. This rice in my saucepan is made with measured water, and I have not drained the starch. It has a little bit of ghee and I've flavored with salt. In this pot I have the rice in which I've added salt and lemon juice, and I've drained the water out so there's no starch. Both of the preparation is fairly simple. You just have to follow some directions. Let's see how to make it. Let's make some rice on the stove top with exact measurements so that it comes out fluffy every time. This is 1 cup measured cup, and this is 1 cup of basmati rice that I've taken in this saucepan. I'm going to wash it twice and then measure and put water in it. I've washed the rice twice. Now I'm going to measure and put water. I'm going to take the traditional measurement of 1:2. Now light up the gas and keep it on medium high so it starts boiling. I'll also add 1 teaspoon of salt. Let it come to a rolling boil, and then I'll show you the next process so your rice will come out perfect every single time. Now that the rice is having a rolling boil, we'll allow this to boil till water is almost absorbed to about 80%. So when that stage comes, I'll show it to you. Make sure your stove is on medium low. Right now, there is still about 30% water left with the rice. So at this stage, I'm going to add 1 spoon of ghee or oil, whichever you choose, you can add. Today, in my house, I'm going to add some ghee to it. Just about 1 spoon. Mix it well. This will keep the rice from sticking and it will give a nice aroma. Now level it all out and put the lid on. Reduce the flame to low and turn on a timer for 4 minutes. My timer is up. Now turn off the gas and let the rice sit for about 15 minutes. You will see that whatever rice you see is laying down will all be well cooked, and they'll all be like porcupines, they'll all be standing up. So just let it sit and your rice will be ready in about 15 minutes. This is one way of making rice. The other way of making rice, which is always going to come perfect, I'll show you again. In this pot, I have about 3/4 cup of rice. For this, you don't need any measurement. I'm going to wash it once and then fill up the pot with water for about 3/4 of the level. I've washed it once. Now here I have filled enough water. Turn up the gas to about medium high. Let it come to a rolling boil. Make sure you have a colander and an empty bowl so that we can drain the rice when it's done. Now that the water is coming to a rolling boil, add 1 teaspoon of salt so the rice is flavored. You can add some spices like cinnamon or bay leaf also, but I'm just showing you a simple plain white rice. As you start seeing the foam coming up, The rice is almost about 80% done. I'm going to just add half a spoon of lemon juice. This will keep the rice from becoming very brittle and too soft. It'll cook well, but it'll also hold a nice shape. So you'll get those fluffy biryani sort of rice. Let me show you how the rice is almost done. So if you notice, rice is fully cooked. I wouldn't say actually fully cooked, but it's about 95% done. So it's going to just break because the core of the rice is not done yet. So at this stage, you will notice how it's foaming up. That's what happens when the starch is almost completely out of the rice. I'm going to drain this rice out. So let me show you how. Safely, you can do this on your countertop, or if you are not sure, you can just drain it in the sink. Take your handle, turn off the gas, just drain the rice into this container, remove as much water as possible. Put this rice back in the container and close it shut. That's it. Leave it closed for about 10 to 12 minutes and it'll be fully cooked and it'll be nice and fluffy. You don't need to add any oil or ghee to it. This rice, the way we prepared it with water measured, if you can notice inside, the rice is nice and fluffy, and like I said, it's no more just laying flat. It's all standing up because all the moisture has been absorbed and the rice is expanding. So I'm going to fluff up this rice and show you. This is about 7 minutes since it was done, and you can see how fluffy the rice is. This rice is great when you serve it with dal and everything, because this has a lot of starch. So when you serve it with dal and rajma and chole and all, the rice will be soft. But when you want to make for biryani, this is the method you need to follow, where you drain out the water so the rice doesn't have any sticky starch in it. So that way when you make biryani, it'll be nice and fluffy. It's been about 10 minutes since I've drained and kept this rice covered. Let's see how this turned out. So see, this is far more fluffy than the other rice. And this is the way I make rice for biryani. I drain out the starch. I never use the rice with starch for making biryanis. So mix this and you will see how fluffy it comes out. For students, youngsters who are new cooks, I suggest to make rice in this way so that they have the sense of accomplishment that the rice comes out nice and fluffy. Because with the way you make the rice with starch, sometimes it can just flop or it may burn if they don't pay attention. So here is the two rice. You can see the difference also. When you add a little bit of lemon, the rice is nice and white, whereas this one is with starch. It's a little bit on the yellow side. I've also added ghee, so this is more flavorful. So the rice made with starch goes very well with rajma, dal, and in those sides. This kind of rice is best suited for making fried rice biryanis. So give it a try and let me know which one worked best for you.